In the world of wild horses, ranchers haven't always been their best defenders. But there is an exception to that. His name is John Falen. He was born and bred into ranching, even riding to school on horseback with his brothers. Born in Caldwell, Idaho, John was a cattleman through and through. He didn't just take what he knew from experience of growing up on the LF Ranch. He got his bachelor's degree in animal science from the University of Idaho. While there, he met a young girl, Sharon, who he took on their first date on her birthday. She was turning 17. That led to a marriage of 65 years. From feedlots and buying cattle, then partnering with Clarence and Wayne Johnson, he expanded by leasing 2 more ranches. The home ranch near Oravada, Nevada, where he and Sharon made their home with yearly family and friends reunions. That was the place where people wanted to gather. Horse and wagon rides, two-step dancing, great food and fellowship was the trademark of their gatherings of people from all over the country. John even became the cover story on Newsweek magazine, sharing how a ranching family could work on a place where the federal and state governments own 85% of the land. This article was a revelation to many in America that a ranch could not survive without the Bureau of Land Management or the Forest Service permits. From there, John and Sharon eventually negotiated to purchase their home ranch and their UC ranch so their way of life could be passed down to their children and grandchildren. As you will find from all of our inductees, their lives are marked by service. For 20 years, John Falen served the children of his county as a member and chairman of the school board. He also launched a political career as an advocate for the ranching industry as the Nevada Cattlemen's Association president, then served on Nevada's Public Lands Council Committee, the National Cattlemen's Association Executive Board, the NCBA Wild Horse and Burro Committee, and the National Public Lands Council president. John was appointed by the Secretary of the Interior to serve on the National Wild Horse and Burro Advisory Council. Although there were no wild horses on the home ranch or UC ranch, John's understanding of the livestock industry and his compassion for wild horses suffering from drought and starvation made him the perfect advocate to work on solutions to remove excess horses from the range. Because of his work, he was one of the founding board members of our Mustang Heritage Foundation. While ranching and wild horses and conservation of the land he called home were definitely John's passion projects, nothing held his heart like family. His wife Sharon, his children, their spouses, his brothers, his grand and great-grandchildren. The home ranch was a circle of life where John could often be found sitting at his gray metal desk with a backdrop of braided bridle reins and silver horse bits. He got to leave that desk after the invent of the cell phone, his horses conveniently stopping when his phone rang so he could carry on his business. Oh, and there was a lot of stopping. And parades were also where John got to show off his driving team pulling a wagon. Losing John Falen in 2022 at the age of 85 left a void within his family. His loss cast a long shadow on the livestock industry, and the Mustangs lost a true advocate in the world of ranchers who share their grazing lands. John Falen understood the stewardship of the wild herds, the balance of nature, and how the world between wild horses and ranchers could find peace. Family first, ranching and wild horses second, and education a close third, makes it appropriate that the John Falen Scholarship continues in his name, rewarding a worthy college-bound student much-needed funds to get their degree to carry on the work he so believed in. John Falen, no one will fill your boots, not ever. But we welcome you to our Mustang Heritage Hall of Fame so that no one will forget the steps you've taken in those boots to make our world a better place for ranchers, for families, and for the Mustangs you have fought to protect. We now welcome your family to accept this award in your honor.